You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu. Polo and Tell, is that you?
Mic check. Mic check waifu. Montel. Is that you?
What's up, Polo? How you doing, bro?
Doing good, feeling better, man. Doing good, feeling better. How you doing?
You know, it's good out in Houston right now. It's super hot for no reason.
Oh, of course. I can't wait. I always say I can't wait every time you mention Houston because I just can't wait. Anyway, this is episode 106 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure you go to lubecomplex.com and use that offer code Waifu to save on your entire cart. Also brought to you by don'ttalkshop.com. Ad coming later. I want to give a special shout out to our Patreon producers. Let me get that pulled up because I'm ill prepared right now. We got a big show for you today. This show is going to be fully loaded, if you will. That's a good word, fully loaded, because we have episode 0 coming out of Take Talk. Now, we still haven't really 100% established on how we're going to do Take Talk yet. I was thinking we do it like the Twitter Spaces and just have the conversation there. But I think recording it would be just too spicy. But we'll get to that soon enough. But first, let me thank our Patreon producers. Aaron Brown, shout out to Aaron Brown. Connor, shout out to Connor. I totally forgot Connor last week and I want to apologize. Connor, you have been our longest running, along with Monique Williams, of course. You've been the longest running Patreon producer. Also, Dre G, the new one. Cad the Pro, shout out to you explicitly. Nachi and Shanti, alongside the boy Treeses. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. Listen, that producer list is getting long, and we appreciate that.
It is.
We hope to keep it building, keep it growing until the point where I need to pre-record the the Patreon producers and just toss them in the front. Yeah, big show. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to start off, if you don't mind, with getting Mic Check Your Soul out the way. Now, if you're not familiar with what Mic Check Your Soul is, we tend to do every once in a while a rewatch or watch of a show, of a classic show that many people enjoy or adore. This week, first we did Bleach, then we did what else we do?
Yu Yu
Hakusho, and then now we're doing Soul Eater. And this segment is now titled Mic Check Your Soul. So we watched the first 10 episodes of Mic Check Your Soul, or of Soul Eater for Mic Check Your Soul. The first 10 episodes were interesting. We're going to dissect the first 10 episodes. I wanted to do it at the beginning because TikTok, I feel like it's going to be a whole other beast unto itself. So I want to do that in the second half of the show, but get Mic Check Your Soul out the way first. First and foremost, I just want to say I have Soul Eater pulled up here on AniList. I love. I'm gonna start off with my positive, my pros. Okay, I absolutely love.
That's not how it's supposed to go.
What you mean?
So start off with the negatives, end with the positives.
No. I'm doing the pros first, and then because I had this all laid out. I had this all laid out all week of how I was gonna do this because it's very specific reason why I want to do this. The positives is I enjoy the animation. It looks freaking gorgeous. Like the way they do like background stuff, how the background is kind of like not there but there is really cool. I absolutely love, and I did both the sub and the dub to see how it sounds. Dub 20 times better, like 100 times better than the sub in my personal opinion, because you got Laura Bailey as Maka, you got fucking you got Troy Baker as Excalibur. You got just so many well-known voice actors as all the main characters, and they do an extremely good job. Now, to kind of transition to some of the negatives, I fucking hate most of these characters. I really do. I love Maka. I love Soul. I love Elizabeth and Patricia. I love what's her name?
Tsubasa.
Black Stars.
Tsubasa.
No, Black Stars.
Tsubasi.
I don't think it's Tsubasi. It's Tsubaka or something like that. Somewhere along that line, along to that. Yeah, Tsubaki. Yeah, Tsubaki is her name. But I absolutely hate Kid. Death to Kid. I absolutely hate Black Star with a disturbing passion. Those are two of probably the worst characters I've ever seen in a shonen type anime, because their tropes are so fucking tacky and corny and annoying just for annoying sakes. And at this point in my anime watching life, and I put this all on me, at this point in my anime watching life, I'm so past that shit. Like, I'm so past the I'm a loud ninja, super annoying kind of fucking I don't know how to act bullshit. And then Death to Kid, everything has to be symmetrical. Fucking annoyed the living ball sack out of me, bro. I hated it so much those first 10 episodes. But the weapons, man, all of the weapons are phenomenal. Like, Soul is great, and Maka is just fantastic. She's just like the perfect protagonist for the show, in my opinion. But I absolutely hate everything else. I definitely like Maka's dad too. I like Maka's dad. I like Frankenstein too. He's fucking dope. Like, there's so many characters around those. Maybe it's only two characters I don't like: Death to Kid and Black Star. Those are probably the only two characters I don't like.
Yeah. Frankenstein is one of my favorite. Frankenstein's one of my favorite characters in this show in general.
He's fire.
Just because, just right off the bat, he's badass, right? Like, true. He's super like, he just seems like he can do whatever he wants to. And I mean, the story behind him is ridiculous. One of the things that I just kind of like picked up on watching this time through, because I've seen it enough times to like kind of pay attention to some other stuff specifically. I was looking at like how the power system kind of works in this, like being able to look at someone's soul, and then like that specific part where they were looking at like that episode where they were showing the souls a lot, and they show that you can see everyone else's soul, and then like you see Lord Death's soul, and it's literally encompassing the city. Yeah. And I'm just like, that it shows like, I guess like it was an easy way of showing like the gravity of the strength of like difference in characters. It's cool. That's one of the things that I've loved so far. Yeah, the fighting is really fucking cool when it's not dealing with the tropes of Black Star and Death the Kid. Like, when it's not dealing with their tropes in the fight, shit is incredible. Like, it's good. It's good fights. I just want to see Maka all the time. I don't want to see these other characters pretty much ever. I wish Maka just had all these weapons, to be honest. Like, I do not like these other. Like, she just switch them out. Yeah, she just switch them out or something, because they're fucking annoying. Maybe they get better. They probably get better. I hope they get better. But they're gonna have moments. Yeah, they're gonna have moments that you're gonna like a lot. Yeah, right now they have moments I fucking can't stand. Like, can't stand. Even the moment that's supposed to be redeemable for Black Star, right? When he decided to spare the that kid witch. When he decided to spare that kid witch, I still just hated him so much, man. I'm just like, yo, just get the fuck off the screen, bro. Like, it was to the point where I was ready to skip episodes. I'm like, I can't fucking. You said this gonna be a Death the Kid and Black Star episode. I don't fucking know if I want to deal with that. But I sat through it. Hated it. I did like seeing Excalibur though. That was fucking hilarious. That was a dope little moment. No, see, everyone talks about how they hate Excalibur, but he's not that bad. No, he really isn't. Well, he was only showed up once too, so in his first 10. Yeah, he's irritating, but he ain't that bad. Bro, I've never seen anybody talk bad about Black Star or Death to Kid. People love these two, and I just don't fucking get it, bro. I was trying to understand it. I'm like, yo, I love Death the Kid. I fucking hate him I hate him worse than Black Star, to be honest. Ugh, it's not symmetrical. I can't. My toilet paper was it raw? It was just so fucking awful, bro. I'm like, this is the corniest trope I've ever seen anybody ever do. Because, like, we're gonna talk about Fire Force a little bit later, but the trope of Sumaki, I think, what was her name? I forget her name, but her little trope is
not nearly as bad as these motherfuckers, man. It's like, and it renders. But the problem is it renders them useless for something so minute, right? Like if it was something major, like what's a good example of one? I can't really think of one other than like gum fruit, right? Like the whole thing where they can't swim in deep water, that renders them virtually useless. That's more advantageous than a fucking assassin trying to become a quote unquote big star by just being loud and obnoxious all the fucking time. It's corny as hell.
Yeah.
Like it's so corny.
It is actually, it's pretty bad. I will say Death of Kids, I find his funny because you think of like, it reminds me, and this is not a huge comparison, but it reminds me of Goku Black, where it's just like a petty thing. Like Goku Black just didn't want like humans because he wanted them to stay in their place, right? Because they were gods. He is essentially that, I'm not going to say omnipotent, but because he is Death's kid, right? He is essentially Death's reincarnation. The character itself looks at things like that as big because everything else is so small in a sense.
Sure, but why does it render you useless? I don't know.
He's not, obviously he's not useless.
No, of course not.
Anubis.
Yeah.
But it's like the idea that's his crippling, that's what cripples him, is something so small.
Yeah, like if something is perfect, I can't attack. Like, get the fuck out of here. This shit's so dumb. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in the show, period. But other than that, I'm loving the underlying story of this so far, for sure. Like the implications and the intrigue of like what the fuck is actually happening just in these first 10 episodes seemed fun. Like seemed like I could enjoy it once I get past them two characters. I thought I hated more characters, but I like way more than I hate. I love everybody around.
Did you?
Death the Kid and Black Star. What's up?
Did you pick up on like the names of the characters we were looking at?
Yes. So
like the sisters, like Death the Kid's guns, they're the Thompson sisters, so they're Tommy guns. I was like, yo, they have some of the funniest, like most ridiculous call outs for some of the stuff, but it's also like just kind of cool to see that as a homage in like the anime in general.
Yeah, the naming system is pretty genius when you think about it too, right? Like Spirit, well, formerly known as Spirit, became what is it, Death Scythe now? Love it. And so is that the guy that was at the end of Fire Force? That one episode?
Yeah, that was the one. That's the bar they were sitting in Fire Force, and that's who was talking in the background.
That's awesome. That's actually really fucking good. So I wonder if I go back and watch the Fire Force dubbed, is it the same dub voice? Now that'd be crazy.
I actually don't even remember, but it could be. I hope it is.
That'd be real good. I think we should stick to 10. Like, give me another 10. I don't think I could do any more right now.
Yeah, 10 was perfect.
Yeah, it was kind of perfect. I was able to finish it on Thursday, which was my off day, and then like let it settle and calculate my thoughts. I know
some time to think about it.
Exactly. I know Trees is gonna be mad at me because he'll notice this is shit. But I just had to keep it real, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, that's what we're here for. If you can't keep it real on this show, like, because it's already got a pretty big, substantial fan base.
100%.
We got to keep it real on this specifically. So if we got to trash it, we got to trash it. Like, I was looking at this and I couldn't believe, because I agree with you. Like, Black Star and Death the Kid were both annoying, but I did find myself laughing at this more than I've laughed at any other anime like so far this year. So like those 10 episodes to me were funnier than a lot of episodes I've watched this entire year. So
interesting. Well, you haven't watched Full Dive, so I guess
that's true.
That's just hilarious.
But I will be binging Full Dive.
Yeah, I just over time, right? Like when it comes to like the shonen style of show, like the shonen popular shows, I am so like what's the word I'm looking for? Full of like hors d'oeuvre and lobster and shit, that when I get a cheeseburger, it's just like maybe I'm a little bit more harsh against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Does that analogy make sense? Because it's like
No, it makes sense because it's sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly. Like I read through JJK, fucking incredible. My hero is doing stuff that I like way better than the Soul Eater is. Minus the few pacing issues, but that's just pacing, not necessarily story wise. Fire Force is incredible. Obviously, is one of our favorites. So it's like it's just so much more. I'm full. So when I get something lackluster,
I think one of the cool things about that though, right? Because you're right, like you're full. One of the cool things is that at the end of Soul Eater, we'll get to kind of compare it to Fire Force and kind of pick apart those different things. Because that's one of the things I said in that Patreon exclusive video was that you could tell that he advanced his like writing techniques in Fire Force. The story is now deeper. The characters now are deeper, so there was a lot more to it. Even though you'll still probably love the world and stuff of like Soul Eater, Fire Force just kind of builds on that entirely. And that's why I appreciated Fire Force so much, because it took something that I already thought was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I liked to like a whole nother level.
100%. Well said. Well said. Because, yeah, facts. All right, man. That's a wrap for My Check Your Soul. Come back next week where we go over the next 10, which would give us to episode 20. A lot easier to follow that way. Stick with us. We are going to continue. Now, before we continue on to the main topic of today's show, which is bad takes, we're going to switch over to Take Talk for that. What was your standout episode this week?
A lot of stuff like Vivian 86 are done. So it's probably gonna be, it's not Shadow's House this week. It's probably Higehiro this week.
What a fire episode, right? Fire ass episode.
Yeah.
Man, that's a real good choice because it was either between that or Osomaki for me. But Osomaki, bro, my goodness, man. That shit was so good. It was so good. Did you get a chance to see it?
I didn't watch the newest episode. I was like that one episode behind.
That's right.
But yeah, I saw the previous one to it.
Yeah. My goodness, man. My goodness. It's so good. It's getting even better because it's so hard for you to just root for one, right? Like I know who I want to win, right? I want what's her name? Yeah, Shiro to win. But it's so hard because they're like diving deeper into the other characters now because they're doing a documentary
for two different people.
Oh, really? You rooting for the short hair?
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting. No, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
Nah, it's not because I just think like I like her. I feel bad for her where she liked him in the first place and then ended up getting turned down because she turned him down.
See, but she did that.
She had to turn him down.
Yeah, but
it was like, I'm like, dang, like I get it. You put yourself in this really bad position.
That's exactly why I didn't want her, because like there was no reason, no real reason for her to do that, right? Like she was fighting that whole time. She was fighting that whole time to try to get her, right? To try to get him. I'm sorry, but like the time had finally come when he realized, like, yo, she's been trying to help me with my first love, that I want to pay her back for what she's done for me because she's been the one there for me. Shiro only did what she did because she didn't know his situation. She felt like he just left her in the dust as a kid. You understand? See what I'm saying? When she found out the situation, that's when the whole thing changed. And that's what made her, for me, the top choice.
A top choice. Yeah, I feel you. I don't think it's a wrong choice. I think probably the better choice realistically, but
you prefer.
I made my choice.
I feel you. Which is again a respectable choice. All the three, it's technically, if you count her little sisters too, it's a lot of them. Right. But it's technically 3 of them. And man,
it's really like 6 of them, 7 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Which is, man, what a good show. What a good show. But between that and Higehiro, those are killing it right now. Higehiro ends next week.
Well, a lot of the summer anime starts next week.
True.
Like 5, 6, 8 days.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that. Which isn't much, luckily. I'm just hoping that our standouts that we called out are going to be standouts and we can, move forward with those.
And we can eat this season.
Yes. Find some sleepers to put on a timeline for everybody to hopefully enjoy with us. All right. Now, with that being said, let's slide over to Take Talk. Now, welcome to Take Talk. This is episode 0. Again, we were thinking about doing Take Talk via Twitter Spaces, but we decided that we're going to record episode 0 or the prologue because there was some takes on the timeline as well as our Facebook group that need to be discussed, right? Ridiculous takes. Now, as we say in Take Talk, like, we don't claim to be right. We just voice our opinion. So we're just going to give you our opinion on these takes, but we're going to dissect them and tell you why either your take was, we understand your take, but it's trash, or we don't understand your take and it's just trash. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, we have to start off with, let's start off with some of the smaller ones, right? Maybe not smaller ones because they're all pretty big. But let's start off with the Fire Force one, if you don't mind.
All right. The Fire Force take. Sheesh, let me get it real quick. So, one of my good friends, Andrew Kenter, he said, "Here's my take. Fire Force is actually unwatchable because of the 17-year-old girl constantly appearing naked as a bit. It was maybe funny the first time, then it detracted from the rest of the show, and eventually led me and the wife to give up on the show."
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. It's, I guess for me, that take, it's so, what's the word I'm looking for? Minute.
Close-minded.
That too. Minute and close-minded. It's perfect. That's the perfect term. And the reason why we say that is because it's close-minded, because the story behind her Ledger effect is, there's virtually, and I know what you're going to say, it shouldn't happen, but there's virtually a story reason behind it. Now, if it was just a situation where it was just poor writing, right? Like, for instance, Brock from Pokemon is what I think of when I think of like poor writing tropes. He just likes everybody and he's going to fawn over every woman that he sees in the Pokemon world, right? No real reason behind it. There's no valid backstory unless am I missing something there?
No.
Okay. He's just a horn dog, right? This is because her, essentially her fire power is think of it like a black cat, an unlucky cat. And yes, our clothes do come off in certain situations, but it is so few and far between. And again, minor. Like, y'all wouldn't fare a day in my shoes when it comes to the ecchi anime, because boy, I be in it. I be in it, because this ain't nothing compared to some of the other shit you see. Even watching Soul Eater, for example, like, there's more in Soul Eater than there is in Fire Force in the first 10 episodes.
Yeah. And I also think that to put that as something so high that makes it unbearable and impossible to watch, I think it's a little much. Mostly for the fact that it's not like a consistent episode thing, right? It is when she shows up, but even when she shows up, it doesn't always happen. And those moments are so fast that if it makes it unwatchable, that it's like, okay, so you it's unwatchable for 3 seconds, or is it unwatchable because of 3 seconds? Like, there's so much more story elements, so much more going on, even dynamically. Like the scene itself normally has so much going on that can't be the only thing you were looking at.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. That one is just, yeah. It doesn't hold any weight, only because of it's just not enough of it to even clamor, sing. It's unwatchable. Unwatchable is so harsh that it don't fit what actually happens in that show. because again, I understand if it became borderline hentai or they hang on it for, I don't know, 2 minutes even, fuck it, then I get it. But like there was one episode where she had a fight and she was fighting and it was, her clothes were still on, but it wasn't like she was completely naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Trust us though. We understand the underage girl thing. Like, we are not about it either. But it's like, it's so, again, it's a part of the story and it's so minor that it's easy to ignore.
Right. That's where I would go. Like, even if they remove that, it's for a quick laugh and to keep moving.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you understand a laugh or two here. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, not as, that take isn't as dry because you kind of explain why with the 17-year-old girl comment. Like, I get that. But again, it's just not enough for it to go around. All right. You want to pull the next one from there too?
The next one is Deku cries too much.
This is the driest take of all time. It's so fucking dry. And
so
go ahead. Sorry.
I wish we could use Noxy PM's like explanation for this, because the idea and like I get people saying Deku cries too much, but the thing is that like as a 15-year-old boy, like I can't imagine someone being okay breaking their bones back to back consistently for a power that they always wish they would grow up and have, to be the idol and symbol that they always wanted to be, and not having to release some kind of emotional distress, right? Like Bakugo doesn't cry because he's always had what he's wanted. He's always had the top power and never had to worry about it. So he has never had a reason to cry.
Exactly.
He's always been able to defend himself and defend others. Deku has never had that, and he got it. And when he thought he wasn't going to get it, and then once he got it, found out it's going to break his body, you know? So like, in the situations he's been in, he's had to, push himself to break his body to save others.
Right. Whereas
no one else in his group or class or school or any of his peers have had to sacrifice the same kind of like scenario.
Exactly.
For a 15-year-old boy with a quirk he just got 2 days ago, let this man cry.
And again, man, it's so fucking dry. It's all about perspective and common sense, man. Escape for a little bit. Everything you've watched always had either grown-ass men or extremely powerful MCs, right? Like everything you've watched throughout your entire life. I don't care what it was. I guarantee you that person was either a grown-ass man or he had incredible power or strength before that. Now, you think that because Deku is humanized, that's all it is, because they just humanized a child character in a world full of superpowers where he had none. They humanized the character, and now he cries too much. I can't watch it because he cries too much. That means you only watched 4 episodes and you called it a day. Like that shit is so dry. Like, find a real take, watch the show, okay? Experience the story, understand that this is a kid, and that like there's so much more to My Hero than it is a few episodes of crying. Whether it's happy tears, sad tears, or pain tears, it don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It's necessary for the.
It's so much deeper than that.
Yes, it's necessary for the show, for the growth of the show, for the growth of the character itself. Deku cries too much. You just dry. You are literally. You want to talk about closed-minded? One of the most closed-minded takes ever. From like. And it's dry, is you don't have anything else. You only watch shows where you can see people fight with already magical powers. Everybody's already strong. You only want to watch people do fisticuffs. Like, you're extremely closed-minded and narrow-minded, I guess is the better term for you. Now, this transitions perfectly into Rob J's thing. He's tired of hearing the two of them. Here's 2 takes. He's tired of hearing it's too many training arcs and it's too many tournament arcs. Now, the training arc I want to just brush through real quick. It's a motherfucking show called My Hero Academia. It's about kids in fucking school, you idiot. So of course they're going to be training arcs. They're learning how to become heroes.
Right.
That's what the name of the show is, you doofus. Now, the tournament arc thing that could be the same reason, right? Like it's a fucking school.
Well, so I get that. So the one thing about tournament arcs is like, because they don't always have to be specifically a tournament arc, but like they consider anything where there's back-to-back fights, where it switches from one scene of fights to another scene of fights to another scene of fights. They consider that a tournament arc, right?
Really?
So
okay.
Yeah. So like when they went and broke in and fought Overhaul and Chizaki or whatever you want to call them, either one, that whole scenario, because they fought so many people back to back, it was considered a tournament arc where they were fighting to get to the...
No.
Yes. So that's considered a tournament arc.
That's crazy.
So that's why they say I'm tired of all these tournament arcs, because that's what a tournament arc is labeled as. Back to back consistent fights.
I did not know that. I had no idea that's the fucking definition of what y'all call a tournament arc. I call a tournament arc a tournament arc. Like, I don't understand. That's a fucking crazy ass thought process y'all got there. But that's the anti-verse, I guess. What? Yeah. What?
I mean, I think that's what I don't know. Let's see what the tournament arc says. Like if there's some kind of definition for it.
I'm thinking it's a stage. It's a literal...
yeah, like the Cell Saga.
Yeah, like a stage where it's labeled, we're going to have a tournament, which My Hero do have quite a few actual tournaments, but it was only, and when you think about it, technically with 3? No, 2. Because it was the...
but the tuning exams, the tournament arc.
Yes, that's because it's an actual tournament format, yes.
Yeah. The Holy Grails War from Fate. The entirety of that is a tournament arc.
Absolutely. For sure.
And Tower of God obviously is a tournament arc.
Mm-hmm. But those are actual structured tournaments though.
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho, like the tournament of, what was it called? I forget what it was called.
Tournament of Darkness.
Yeah, Dark Tournament. Like, damn. I don't know. That's silly to me too.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, My Hero Academia is literally an academia-based anime, so there's going to be tournament arcs. There's going to be, like, you're in a school, right?
Yes.
The whole anime. Like, yes. Kuroko's No Basket tournament arc.
Yes.
Higehiro is all tournament-based. So, like, if you're watching anything that's going to be, like, a fighting system, I would assume there's going to be a back-to-back tournament arc. 100%. It's just what it is.
100%.
You gonna tell me that Haikyuu is no good because it's all tournament arcs?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. People, the thing is people having problems with them learning too much. That really was like, that blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing and that's why I don't understand why people get mad about the training arc stuff. Like, there should be almost a training arc between every arc, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
like can I not see Asta just get a magical power up every time?
Nah, in that show,
people work for
the motherfuckers.
They've been training the whole time in My Hero Academia. The whole time. I understand power ups. They don't even power up as fast as other anime. No. They really working for it. They got them grinding for these power ups.
Facts, man. Facts. Yo, the Black Clover thing always gets me every single fucking time because it is atrocious how fast people get these powers. It just don't make any, especially Noelle. Like, I loved her the most in the show, or liked her the most in the show. And for her to get the power she got after just learning how to control her power, it was ridiculous. I'm like, oh, okay. That's when I was like kind of fed up. I think that's when I ended.
But she was one of the only people I cared about, like, getting the powers though, right? Like, because I felt like she worked for it. Yep. Asta worked for it. It was just everyone else coming out of the woodwork for like this new special firepower. Yeah. I got this new spell in my book that just be doing everything. It's like, this is literally Zatch Bell without the dolls walking around.
Oh my God.
Without Annabelle following you. This is Zatch Bell.
So shout out to HBCU anime. I just gotta say this. As Deku transcends into everybody's favorite, Takemichi becomes the new scapegoat to be labeled as useless crybaby, I see. Right? Now, that transitions perfectly into the worst take of all time, I think, personally.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find it here. Did I not save the... Oh, here it is. Yep. Oh, no, I didn't save it. Fuck. Somebody said I can't...
was...
Oh, you got it?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got it right here, actually.
I know it word for word, basically.
He said, yeah, I don't know who's more... Yeah, I have it right here, actually. I don't know who's more useless, Takemichi or Subaru. And he at Blind Anime Podcast. So I'm not going to say his because I don't want to send any complete hate towards his way. But he says, I don't know who's more useless, Takemichi or Subaru. And he, like I said, he added at Blind Anime Podcast. Of course, Blind Anime went off. But where do you want to start?
This person caused complete discord across the entirety of the Twitter timeline.
100%. 100.
People, everyone was like, yeah, this is not the take.
So I want to.
This is not the one.
Not the one. I want to give a shout out to at Strange Keith. He says, "This is what I be talking about though. When y'all only watch Battle Shonen, y'all get false sense of that you get the false sense that everything in anime is supposed to be solved by superpower fights, and that's just not the case, bro. It's not, and that goes
right.
That goes well with the whole Deku situation, right? Like everything cannot be solved with just fisticuffs right at the fucking moment, with your main character becoming victorious almost instantly because he's supposed to be powerful. Crazy.
You know, they look, gotta let people have their bad takes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to.
No.
But
I'm just going through some of these Twitter screenshots that I took. He says, somebody says, hold on. Okay, here it is. Otaku's Delight podcast says, y'all be 16 seconds into an opening of an anime declaring that the anime is trash because the MC is weak. Like, come on, people.
Let's also talk about how they be 5 seconds into the intro talking about something that's about to be the best anime of the year.
Facts.
That's episode of 2021.
Yo,
bro,
true.
You're like 6 seconds in and you don't stop.
Oh my God, the anime don't even be done and people be shouting praises. And some I do understand, like Tokyo Revengers is real good. But let's break down.
Hey, look, Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm so happy people hyped it up, bro. I'm happy.
Same. But let's get back to the Subaru. I don't know who's more useless, Subaru Takemichi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where shall we start? Let's start with Subaru, please, because that's
let's do that.
Useless when it comes to Subaru. I'm assuming you didn't watch obviously season 2 because there's no fucking way you could have. I don't even know if you finished season 1 with that kind of take.
Season 1.
No, you couldn't have. There's no fucking way, because imagine the situation being where you get teleported to another world. You get isekai, but you get isekai with no power other than you return to a specific point by death, by dying. Now, for you to solve these problems, you have to be mentally the strongest person in the verse, for one. 100% the strongest person. So Subaru already wins that title because he's dying constantly to solve problems. Just imagine that's you. You can't.
Yeah. And let's just go a little bit deeper into that, right?
Sure.
Let's talk about how it's impossible for this to be useless, because if he dies with no meaningful progression, he just goes back to the last place where he had meaningful progression. He literally has no choice but to progress meaningfully.
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't have a choice.
Good point.
He doesn't have a choice. He can't go forward without establishing some kind of meaningful change.
Exactly.
Or meaningful topic done.
it literally just doesn't happen. He had to kill the great whale. He had to do so many other things before he was able to say, boom, that's a save point. I can go ahead and go for it now. So to even say it's useless is literally impossible in the making of the show, because the show can't progress without him.
Yep. This goes back to Keith's point on Twitter. He said, because you only watch Battle Shonen, you expect for a main character to be the one to be the most powerful, to be the one destroying people because of XYZ, whatever situation is. Everyone has to be Yasuke or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know who y'all want. Everybody has to be Goku for y'all to even enjoy a show. But you consider a main character useless because he dies? He has to die? He doesn't have superpowers? The Takemichi thing, man, this episode, the most recent episode, even justifies this even more of how powerful he actually is. Again,
that's what I'm saying.
The mental, bro. You gotta have the mental. And again, what the fuck? Like, so the fuck what? He can't fight. He fought.
He did. and like we said before, he talked about how he used to be able to fight. He used to be a decent fighter, but he hasn't fought for 14, 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
Why does he necessarily need to throw hands again? He ain't even thought he was gonna throw hands again. He was done with this. Yeah. Not that gave boy the head honcho jacket.
Ooh. Man, it's something about these again, he just cleared the guy that tweeted that said he cleared episode 9 of Tokyo Revengers. If I remember correctly, episode 9 is a time where Takemichi sacrificed himself for his friend, I believe. Again. But even still, like, the writing in that show alone is enough to make up for any shortcomings you have with him being a quote unquote crybaby. He's literally called the crybaby hero because he fucking absolutely saves the day with his, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, with his methods, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Right. It's crazy.
Can't believe y'all got these takes.
All right, so let's slide out of take talk and go back to mic check. Waifu. Yo. Did you say you had something you wanted to give me? Something you want to talk about?
Shadow's House.
Yes.
The Shadow's House anime, I'm loving how like it's getting progressively darker and darker. Sincerely wish that I can't wait for you to watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching.
This next episode is the finale.
Yes.
So obviously a finale of the first season. So I definitely think you're gonna have time to, because if you want to just go in and binge it real quick.
That's exactly what I want to do.
You know, I think you're gonna like it because it start off mad wholesome and then go into this like dark, twisted, I kind of very horror-esque. I like that a lot. I love it. I do. And almost rebellious too, like a rebellious kind of scenario.
Interesting.
So I hope you see it, like it. We'll see if you like it.
You gotta watch Full Dive for me then.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
If you want to laugh,
because I wanted to get that finished.
Yeah, you gonna definitely laugh.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. It's done already.
Yep.
I'm gonna start binging it tomorrow.
Clean. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch Shadow House. It's Shadow House and Omniton are two that I just can't let escape. For sure. But I like eventually the ones that like Seven Nights Revolution I'm gonna finish. I still got Komono Jahin that I never finished from winter season. I'm slipping on that. But the summer season is going to be in full effect this week and next week, actually.
Finally, yeah. It's these next 2 weeks.
Yep, next 2 weeks that's when the summer starts. I'm going to go back and listen to what our sleepers was and post them on Twitter so everybody can see.
I'll bookmark it and keep it going so I know which ones I'm guaranteed to watch.
Yep. So we have to watch them all the way through, which is the task at hand. I did want to let's get to know my check waifu. I did want to get to know my check waifu before we get into these spoilers. There is, damn, we're gonna be missing Vivi.
You run the number down.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna be missing Vivi. What else we gonna be missing?
86. No Vivia 86.
No Vivia or 86. Yeah. We gotta.
Speaking of 86.
Yes.
76 questions left.
Speaking of 86, it's confirmed for October that season 2 will continue. So shout out to Rob J for sending us that little teaser trailer. I can't wait to see what it is, but it looked like there was a Legion.
Also, speaking of trailers, did you see the Chainsaw Man trailer?
I did not. I can watch it during the break.
Yeah, watch that during the break, and then I'm bring it up again when we come back.
Cool.
Let's see what you think.
Yeah, we don't have much to spoil, so we're only going to spoil My Hero. We're going to discuss My Hero for sure. That'll be first. Higehiro. And then
Tokyo
Revengers, and probably this trailer for Chainsaw Man. But the number I have for Get to Know My Check Waifu this week is 36.
The number, look, from talking about 86 or 76 to 36 is the best anime villain.
Fuck, man.
Your best anime villain. I'm gonna say my favorite first, and then I'm gonna go who I think is the best anime villain.
Interesting. I think my favorite has to be Roswell. He was real good.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah. I hate you so much.
What?
I didn't think you was gonna go there. I swear I thought you was gonna choose Madara and I was gonna choose Roswell, but
you were really gonna choose Roswell for real?
Of course. Of course.
I think Madara is the best villain, but I like Roswell as my favorite.
I don't know. My personal opinion is I think Madara is the most demon-esque villain because like he pulled up on 20,000 Ninja was like, what's up?
Yeah.
Whereas Roswell, he's just been
conniving,
scheming the whole time, and he's powerful.
So strong.
He's powerful. It's stupid. Let's be real. Yeah. But yeah, my favorite would have to be Gilgamesh.
Of course.
Goated. But yeah, I'm choosing Roswell as well.
Roswell's insane, man.
Beat me to the punch.
He's insane. He's way too good. All right, when we come back, we are going to discuss episode 13 of My Hero Academia. Or was it 14? I believe it's 14.
14?
Yes. 14 of My Hero Academia. Episode 12 of Higehiro. The trailer of Chainsaw Man. Tokyo Revengers episode 12. That's it. I miss Vivi. We'll be right back.
Don't you?
After these.
I've been working all I can. Get back to unite me. You know I got a plan. Hoping that you might be slipping to my bed. Baby, do me nicely. Baby, do me nicely. Once again. I've been living in this life, baby. This is undeniable, I want you to call up on my side, baby. And slowly give me all your love. I've been living to dreams. I've been falling. Want you to show me all your love. Show me all your love, baby. Love, baby. You're the love that I can't get back to you. See you, talking that you might step into my bed. Baby, you see this, baby, you see this. Once again, thinking about your body, thinking about your hands. When they go so lightly, slip into my bed. Baby, to me, kindly, baby, to me, kindly.
And welcome back to episode 106 of Mic Check Waifu. Make sure y'all go to Twitter and follow us at Mic Check Waifu, and our youtube.miccheckwaifu.com, and subscribe. We appreciate that. You get a video version of this podcast alongside other video content as well. We're gonna start posting some gaming content back up on there too, soon enough, because I've been doing a lot of that. Yeah. I'm look forward to it. Shout out to the Patreon. Subscribe to Patreon if you want access to the pre-show, as well as early access to the video versions too. Now, this is the spoiler half of the show where we're going to spoil My Hero. The most recent episode being episode 14. This shit was good. This was one of the better episodes this entire season. Now, Rob J really wanted to hear what you had to say, because this apparently deviates slightly or changed the order of the manga.
Yeah.
So what you think about what they did?
I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, only for the fact that at this part, they were showing like a Shigaraki backstory. And it was giving the breakdown as to what happened with him. And then it went like into... It was like Shigaraki's backstory, which really was like one episode. And then it went into, which is kind of like a precursor to what we saw, because we saw something earlier, like 2 episodes ago, that was what like Shigaraki's backstory. But all it's doing is skipping that. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back to that, because that's such an important part. But also, it's, to be fair, it's really, really dark. Like super dark, to where I could understand even that if they cut it, people would be mad, but it's like, it's dark. You just might have to read the manga to see how that played out, because of how dark it was.
I don't think they're cutting it out. What I think they're doing is, I think they're getting the jump start on this training session. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I haven't read the manga till we know, but I do think when I saw that on the timeline where Rob J said that they're changing the order, and I'm looking forward to what y'all have to say about it. Again, this is a great episode. I'm liking what they're doing, because what I feel like they're doing is that they're jump starting the work study for Bakugo and Deku, right? Then they drop in I guess you can call it a clue for Endeavor that in 4 months shit gonna pop off. So the work study is gonna involve Endeavor saying, yo, you know this better than I do, so you don't have to correct me here, but Endeavor saying, yo, let's get this work study going. We're gonna be training throughout this entire time. Then during that time frame, they go to Shigaraki and say, hey, this is Shigaraki's backstory leading up to that final that 4th month, going into whatever the fuck is about to happen after that. So that's how I think the order is going for them. I mean, I'm probably obviously wrong, but
No, you're not, because that's basically what happens. Is even in the manga, the only difference is, like I said, they show Shigaraki's backstory first, went to the Endeavor and all of them being together and doing some like hero stuff, and then went back to the villains being to the main like focus. I think there's gonna be one more episode of like Deku goody goody two shoes stuff, and then it's gonna either go
That's what I'm thinking
to the
too.
full villain arc or because it's gonna get dark. And I think I'm gonna be excited if it goes as dark as it could, because it's darker than like how you felt after the first episode of Promised Neverland.
Damn.
I don't know how dark, but it feels darker than that. Like when you realize that that's not what you thought it was. This isn't how happy you thought it was.
I love that. And that's the order I think they're doing, which will then be more effective, right? To people who doesn't read the manga, to the everyday anime watcher who, you know, just turn on Toonami or whatever the situation is.
But the beauty behind that too is also we can skip all the recaps consistently, right? Like it just goes straight into like the villain. This is what the villains are doing, and then it just doesn't have to go to recap anymore. It just shows us the actions of the villains,
right? Which would be advantageous for My Hero, because that fucking pacing problem was a huge deal. So,
hey, look, that was one of the things I saw. It wasn't necessarily, I didn't really consider this a take, because it, you know, it's not a take, but it was like, why do anime have those? Well, when I see anime, here I'll just pull up the actual screenshot.
Sure, yeah.
Because I saw this real quick. It's real quick. Am I the only one who hates when an anime is deep in a good battle and in the middle of it somebody has an episode length flashback?
Oh God!
And it's like,
yes,
Polo hates that. It's not a take. It's not a take, but that's a fact. Like that's not okay.
That's not okay. No, man, no. And that's literally to fluff up the situation. Like that's it. Like, okay, they're trying to dive deeper, but if you already in a battle, we already should be deep enough with the characters to understand what they're feeling or what they're going through. Not during the fucking actual fights do we need to flash back for 15 minutes in a 25-minute episode. I just don't. That's not that is absolutely a fact. That's a terrible move. A terrible move. It ruins the whole show.
Action to take.
Yeah, this is definitely the best episode of the season for me personally. Even though that the Class A versus Class B was cool, but this one, just the implications of this one I feel better. Yeah.
You feel like some shit's about to happen.
Yes, I feel more progression.
You also get to see like the other side of the heroes, right? Like Hawks is working what seems like a double agent.
Triple agent.
You know, like you see, like that's a darker job for heroes, like in general, to have to do that. And you know, he had to play some mind games. Even, you know, he's carrying out extra books to give them out so that he doesn't seem too suspicious for giving out these books. But he's got it specifically done in for Endeavor. You know, we get to see Endeavor is not stupid and he can actually figure some stuff out. I was like, let's go, Batman Jr.
It was big, man. That whole moment was huge because Hawks delivering that message to Endeavor the way he did was so important. And even them like mentioning how it was done, I was impressed because it was done in an intelligent way, right? Like it wasn't done to the point where it seemed tedious. It was done in a way like you'd be like, oh wait, he's normally like this, but he had to change up his expression to relay this clear message only to Endeavor. But to the kids, hey, here's the books. He's still the same typical Hawks. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. I can't wait to see the outcome of this. I can't wait for this season to be done so I could just read it. To be honest, I'm ready to go. Speaking of reading, did you read JJK?
No, I figure I'm gonna save that for the time, but I gotta read it because
I even said this. I don't know if you saw this on the timeline. I'm like, yo, I don't know how you do it because this is hard. This is hard not to want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just tough.
You know, now you in my shoes, so let me know how you feel.
Don't like it. Never want to do it again. Actually, never want to do it again. But
we done drag Polo down.
You happily do it with My Hero though. You are gun ho about it. You know.
I can't. I can't, bro.
I hear you.
No, JJK. It was also hard to stop, but My Hero Academia. As soon as it got dark, I was like, "You got me. I'm in. Don't you even worry."
Soon enough, we'll be on the same page, so it's not a big deal. Yeah. All right, let's move on to a Chainsaw Man trailer.
Let's go. Yeah.
Maple's in their bag. It looks good as far as like animation goes.
It does look amazing. It gives a real horror vibe too with the music.
Yeah, definitely feels the horror vibe for sure. I don't know what the show is. It still has yet to impress me.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Mappa being Mappa.
It did not give any demonstrations.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't give any demonstration on what the show is going to be about.
Right.
Anything like that, other than the fact that there's a Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
But once the show gets in its groove, I guarantee Polo's going to be a Chainsaw Man fan.
I hope so. I love to be a fan of good anime. But from what you described to me a long time ago, because I remember it like it was yesterday, everything that you said about, some mafia situation, makes a deal with the devil essentially, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, it's cool. And then everything else I've seen, the spoilers that I've went on about previous episode, I believe that was 100 or 101 or something like that. They post panels of it, and every panel that I've seen of it, I'm just like, whatever, like it just seems like whatever. Yeah, it just seems like whatever. There's been times I've seen panels of fucking One Piece, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Or even impressed with the JJK panels I saw before, I read. Holy fuck.
Yeah, speaking of panels, bro, there's a couple of My Hero panels this week that I was like, I gotta share this with somebody, and I'm like, Polo ain't caught up yet.
That's just spoiler.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I just want to share these panels with somebody, and Polo ain't the one. These My Hero panels look ridiculous.
And the funny part is about that is I have panels from JJK that I wanted to share that I decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, panels from
it's a beautiful thing.
It is, but I also wanted to share on Twitter because I thought about it because this is from a year ago. But Mission Yozakura Family, I've been picking that back up too. I got from 43 to 51, chapter 51. Holy shit, it's still so good.
Let's talk about that next week. Mission Yozakura Family and JJK. You want to do that?
Yeah, for sure. Because this shit crazy. Where you at? You were about where I was at like 43 or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read up to 51. Man, it's good. It's real good. What happened to where is Solo Leveling?
Solo Leveling?
Is it a break right now?
I haven't read that in like 3 weeks, maybe a month.
So I'm all,
because I feel like I read it like a month ago, less than a month.
I'm all caught up on that too. I still got to pick back up. What's it called? The player that can't level up. Was it that?
Oh yeah.
No, what was that called? Fuck.
It was the one with the job skills where he
overgeared,
got, like, the super good armor.
Yeah, overgeared. There it is. Got to pick back up overgeared. Cool. All right. I guess we can move on to Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, let's do that.
This could have been an episode of the week for sure. This was a great episode, and by great I mean sad.
It was a good developed episode.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, like unpacking. So close to what? Because next week is the last episode for this.
Is it though?
It felt it. I guess so. I mean, for this season, right?
I don't see an end.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, that's what
they felt like a leading up to a finale episode.
100%.
But let's also talk about how like it unpacked a lot of information or a lot of feelings in general. So like Aku, Mikey, Draken, all those people are still intact when he goes back to his present time.
Yep.
The incident has never happened.
Yep. Akun is a hairstylist like they promised.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't know where Mikey or Draken is, which is going to be the next thing.
100%.
Obviously, that's what we about to figure out. Where's Mikey and Draken? Did they pull up on him?
Yeah, he gonna go straight back into Tom though. Like, right? Like, he's not. I don't think he's gonna pussyfoot around with this one after what he just witnessed. It's the underlying story. I feel like there's still so much to tell with this show that is just like, what the fuck is even this? Because now Mikey's trying to take over the Tolman. You're like, fuck this. I'm just take over.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I think there's cause and effect with everything. So like, I feel like him going back in time has to have some kind of effect, right?
Right.
And it's not going to be as positive as he wants it to be.
That's true.
Mikey got to do what he got to do to make sure his people good. And that's the kind of person that he seems to be.
100%. Man, I'm so confused as to why, though, this hit was put on Takemichi of all. Well, I do, because Takemichi of all people, it does seem to have so much power over Mikey and Draken after, you know, everything that has been going down with him going to the past and shit. So it totally makes sense, like when you put it in that perspective. But like 12 years later, though,
because you're getting an emotional reaction out of them, and the reason I think it's 12 years later is because it has to coincide with his time travel abilities, right?
Interesting. So you think somebody else is a part of it too?
Not necessarily that, but like if the assassination attempt on him was made before he could get back to his body, essentially, like I think that the cause, like the effects that he changed don't really catch up to him specifically, right? It's like not really him living that life anymore.
Interesting.
Because he actually hasn't lived that life.
Right.
He has those experiences, but he hasn't actually lived that life in between
those 12 years.
The actions he took in the past and now. So that would mean that he doesn't have to deal with the actual repercussions.
Right. It's just, damn. That's a okay. Is that a big hole then?
I mean,
in the plot,
we don't know yet. Because we're not that far in the story. Because I mean, if you want to consider it like a plot hole, okay, cool. But I think it would be more of a plot hole if the assassination attempt was made on him at 15, right? And then like we never get to see that. Right, we would never see that assassination attempt if you survived it, or if someone changed it. That it wouldn't make any sense for us to see it because he wasn't there in the time to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean that, and I'm gonna be real with you. It's something that other anime that deals with time travel handled a lot better. Right, like Erased. You had the situation where he was in a coma. Subaru, obviously, I mean it's not really technically time travel, but it's always explained clearly through that. But Steins Gate, every fucking aspect of that show was scientifically, even though it's not real, right? It's science fiction, but it was scientifically proven to have a cause and effect, and the reason behind the in-betweens and the ins and outs of that time period. But this one, for some reason, like you said, that 12-year gap, he's already lived, but like with a different conscience, like,
yeah. And I think the difference being is that like, Steins Gate was time travel, right? But he doesn't remember any of that. Like he lived when he goes to the future. Like if he goes 1,000 years in the future, he's not going to remember what happened 1,000 years in the future. If he goes 100 years in the future, he's not going to remember that. So he has to essentially assume what happened, or get the history from the people around him.
Right. Because it's
in Takemichi's scenario,
it was explained via world lines, so that's why it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say in Takemichi's scenario, the only thing that's really time traveling is his conscience, not really him physically. So like his consciousness has no way of dealing with a scenario of him being like an assassination attempt. And like I said, we don't know what the next scenario is, like if they're going to give something else, any other reasoning, because like let's say Takemichi really been living a double life this entire time with his consciousness, because his consciousness is still being Takemichi, #1 head commander of Tomo. But he, as far as he knows right now, he's never done that. He never went that far with Tomo, right, because he doesn't remember that. He never lived that life. But now he has to deal with the consequences of his past self that he just finished being, living that life as a Tomon #1 commander.
Interesting. And that's probably why he broke up with Hina, to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn. Interesting stuff. All I know is I can't wait to see how it wraps up.
If it wraps up, Polo don't think it's gonna wrap up yet.
I mean, because I'm looking at it, every episode has an end. Every show has an end episode date, right? Like, except for the continuations. So,
yeah,
Eden 0, 2 out of 25. Higehiro 12 out of 13. To Your Eternity 20. You know, it has an end time. Shaman King 52, obviously. Tokyo Revengers doesn't have that. Neither does Boruto. Yeah, so
Black Clover.
Yeah. Those don't have ends. So I'm assuming this keeps going until
they decide to cut it.
Yeah. Is it? Well, what if it's long running?
I mean, from what I've heard, it could be, because there's a lot of people talking a lot about the manga.
Yeah. You think we should read this after it's done?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm down. I'm 100% down.
This seems like a very readable story.
100%. 100% agree. And I actually am looking forward to it.
Let's go.
Another thing I was thinking about picking up after it was done was Higehiro, to see how different it is. Like,
really? You want to see if the story plays out differently?
I think so. Yeah. This most recent episode was pretty good.
I like that.
It's pretty damn good, man. Something about this most recent episode was like, it was so emotional though.
I mean, it made a lot of sense with her finally coming back to her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And her mother wilding out as to be expected.
I was yelling at my monitor here. I was saying shit out loud. I'm like, yo, why the fuck wouldn't he say nothing? Because he wasn't saying nothing at first, and it was pissing me off. I'm like, yo. And then when he started to go in his inner monologue, I'm like, yo, why the fuck aren't you saying this shit out loud? But then when he
it was paused in time.
Yep. But when it was executed, like, and he did what he did, I'm like, oh, because the mother was right. Like, you're a fucking stranger. Like, I don't know what you did to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all started to make sense when I put it in that perspective. And when he kind of like caught himself from throwing that glass of orange juice at her or whatever the fuck he was gonna do. He's like, yo, I had to bring myself down.
That was funny though, because like, I can imagine you being very upset about that, because he's been nothing but nice to her the entire time. That's what he's used to seeing for her. And then to come here and he don't know her. Like you said, he's a stranger. To him, the only person he knows there really is her. So the fact that mom is going off, he like, I don't know you, lady. You know, I would never let you disrespect her, but she don't. That's his mom.
Yep.
That's who's designated to take care of her.
Exactly. And the way he handled it was kind of flawless, man. It kind of was the right decision.
Mm-hmm. It was also honorable, you know.
Yes.
He bowed to her when he didn't need to bow to her in her own house. You know, he could have just said, you know what, this ain't got nothing to do with me, but I'm saying what I'm saying, and then left. But he wanted to make sure that she knew that I'm giving the right intentions for your daughter.
Facts. How much hate did you have for her mother?
All of it.
I hated her so fucking much, dude. I still hate her. Like, why? It just like, why?
Oh yeah, she's no good. No, I don't care what happens next episode. Her mother's not a good person.
She's trash.
Just like Endeavor's not getting a Father's Day for me, a Happy Father's Day. She is not getting a Happy Mother's Day. She's the worst mother.
Never seen it. I wish you were never born. Like, come get that shit out of here. Like, no.
Sheesh.
To a 15-year-old girl, 16-year-old girl?
No, she's 17.
17. It's just not. It's not the way you do it, man. I don't give a fuck what the situation is. Her husband left you because of her. So what? Get over it. You know,
but like that's the story they told us. That's not why he was leaving anyway. But she had the daughter because she thought that was going to keep him.
That's true. That's
so
true.
It was really her fault.
Even more of her fault. Like, you made this decision. Like, ugh. She's gotta be the anime's worst mother ever.
Yeah.
Easy.
Other than Use Case Mom was pretty bad.
She was bad, but she gave a fuck.
That man go fight demons.
But she gave a fuck.
I don't know. If she let him fight demons, I don't know how much she cared.
But if
I'm just talking shit. Bro.
Yeah, if your son can fight, then let him do his thing. You know?
Right.
The fact that she loved him. This chick don't even love Sayu.
At all. Not even a little bit. She's dirty. She's despicable.
I hated it. I hated everything about it. My blood was boiling. All right. Is that it?
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Time for the recap. We just finished talking about Higehiro. Did y'all get a little emotional with that ending part? Let us know what you think about Higehiro. Tokyo Revengers. It's an ongoing. Well, it looked like it might be ongoing. What y'all think happens with Takemichi in between those 12 years? Polo and I will also be talking about Michio Zakura and JJK next week, so tune in for that manga talk. We also looked at the Chainsaw Man trailer. Polo's like very impressed with Mappa on that, but he don't know what the show about, so he's not really excited for the show itself. My Hero's Academia. This is Polo's favorite episode. One of my favorite episodes, a really good episode. Rob J, look, they're gonna give us what we deserve. They're gonna give us the My Villain Academia part. Don't you worry. Before we had our break, we got to know Mike Check Waifu. What is the best anime villain? Let us know what your best or favorite anime villain is. And then we also talked about Shadow's House. Well, I talked about Shadow's House. Pull up on binge next week. I'm gonna binge full dive. Let us know which one was your favorite anime of the spring season, since the spring season is officially tying up. And then we also had Take Talk, who's more used to Subaru Takemichi. Too many tournament arcs or training arcs. Deku cries too much. Fire Force is unwatchable. Send us your takes. We'll dissect them, talk about them, let you know if you're good or bad. But yeah, send them to us. And that's been episode 106 in Park. Those bad takes. With Mike Check Waifu.
I am at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
I am at King Taliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram. And as always, Mike Check.
予行練習なんて全部嘘。You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu Waifu.